Perfect. So I'm going to get started. We were expecting about 15 people or so to be joining us, but I'll just crack on because there are also a few other people who specifically requested the replay because they can't make the time today. So I'm going to get cracking. And we've also got Rose as well. She's on my team. So if you do have questions, I'm sure she will message me just to nudge me and let me know that I need to check out the chat as well. So let me get into this. This is the Leads to Clients Masterclass. I'm specifically going to talk about how to attract 2 to 5 new clients each month on social media and make an additional 20 to 50k per month. I'm also going to give you that breakdown as we go through this webinar. And this is all without complicated funnels or a big audience. Now, what's quite interesting, I was delivering part, not all of this, but part of this training to another influencer's audience yesterday. And there's a couple of stories that I'll share as we get along. But I want to start with this particular story. So this story is from my client Pin. That's his nickname. His name's Parminder. But he contacted me about 10 years ago. And he was filled with his goal, belief, and faith in what was possible for him. And he faced naysayers, fears, frustrations, and competitor challenges at the time. And 10 years later, the difference now is that he operates and runs a multi 7-figure business. He has 32 employees and 2.3 million followers on social media. And this was a print screen when we crossed $1 million in sales. And this was from a course that sold for £39. Since then, it's done in pounds, 1.2 million pounds plus now. And the last time I checked on the sales statistics, and this was all from a course that he recorded. And the reason why I like to start with this particular story, even though it's not a high ticket offer, it's actually a low ticket offer, but it achieved high ticket sales, right? And so the point that I want to get to is most people ask me when I work with different clients and in different niches, they say to me, what made this result happen, right? He was ready to create a new story for his life and business, right? He wanted something new. He was ready to ask for help. He was ready to go beyond the training and knowledge and moving to guidance and implementation. So moving past what he already knew. He was ready to push outside of his comfort zone. He was ready for the next level, even with his insecurities and family questioning his goals. And it was quite interesting at the time. I remember him saying to me, you know, he had family members who were saying to him, perhaps you should work with somebody more, you know, local from our community. But he actually wanted somebody outside of his known community because he didn't want to be stifled with what was already going on in the community. And so that's when he reached out to me. And I'm guessing that's why you're here. You're ready for something different, right? And I'm going to take you through that and show you that. So this is for you if you're a coach, expert, or consultant. If you're established, you know, coach or consultant who you use your wisdom, knowledge, and expertise to create breakthroughs for your clients, this is for you. If you're in the wealth, health, or relationship service industry, this is for you. Some of you have already mentioned what type of coach you are. So for those of you just joining me, can you let me know in the chat what type of coach or consultant you are? If you're like a life coach, business coach, a career coach, you know, just comment below just so I understand who's here. Because when I get into some of the examples later, when we go through some of the marketing strategies that I'm going to share with you, I can tailor it more towards you guys specifically. And there was one other thing I just wanted to mention is if you do have a specific question or problem or something that, you know, you're going for a goal, but there's something you believe is holding you back or you'd like answered so that you can move forward, please ask in the chat as well. And I will come to it and answer it during this webinar. Now, this is also for you. You know, so long as you can use your unique expertise to change your clients' lives, you are absolutely in the right place. So if you have a high ticket offer or you're working on creating an updated offer and you want to close deals of 3 to 25k plus, I've got clients that I'm going to show you shortly they've had 100k offers, right? And you want to attract people from social media, this is for you. And if you want to get more high ticket clients by posting on social media, this is also for you. And finally, if you want to charge more for your high ticket offer, but you don't know how to position your offer, again, this is for you, because a lot of positioning comes from what we say as in our content, what we publish on social media. Now, for most of you, this is probably not your first webinar, and I just want to make it clear, there is an offer, and you're probably thinking, well, what is the offer? Now, the offer is very simple. If you'd like to skip to it, it's this. It's called the Leads Accelerator call, right? And this is the same offer I've been publishing on my webinars for the past 2 years. And I think it's really cool because you won't be sold anything, right? What we offer is a leads accelerator call where we're going to help you create a 4-step plan on the call. So we'll jump onto Zoom, and within about 20 to 30 minutes, I'm going to give you a 4-step plan of what you can do to grow your business from where you are to that next level, whatever your goal is, right? Simply go to leonstreet.com/apply and book yourself in if you want to just take advantage of that early on. Right. When you do turn up for the call, there is some amazing bonuses that I include, and these are exact trainings that I give to my clients. You've got the secret client magnet training, you've got the confirm by chat DM script training, and also how to create a no-brainer irresistible offer. So again, just go to leonstreet.com/apply and book yourself in for the leads accelerator call. There should be a link in the chat now that Rose would have put in there. Let's skip to the main training. Now, I want to start with this statistic, and some of you, I recognize you've actually been on this webinar before. I'm just going to the chat very quickly just to see who else. Thanks for joining us, Petra, leadership coach, right? So anybody else who's here, please just let me know what type of coach or consultant you are. I really would like to know, because as I said, I can tailor things for you. So Rose has shared the link in the chat as well. But this statistic is from HubSpot, and it was the question was around what is the biggest challenge in terms of marketing for a company. And in number one, or first place, was 65% was generating traffic and leads, right? And for most businesses, this is always the primary challenge, generating traffic and leads. So once that survey was done, they also asked these business owners, well, what's going to be your priority over the next 12 months? And they said converting contacts or leads to customers. This webinar is called Leads to Clients, right? And it's because we're going to solve both the problem of generating traffic and then how to convert those leads into customers. So I'm going to take you through that process. Just a little bit about me and why you should listen. I've helped 5 clients generate 7 figures through the coaching and marketing campaigns we put together. I specialize in high ticket programs, although I do have some clients who do sell low ticket programs, but en masse because they have bigger audiences. And I also have published the #1 best-selling book, the one that you can see on my desk right now and on the picture. It's called More Leads, More Clients. For those of you here right now, if you'd like a free PDF copy of the book, can you just comment in the chat and put the word PDF? And then what I can do is just make sure that we share the link for the book. Rose, if there is anybody asking for the PDF, can you please share the link for them to get a free PDF copy in the chat right here? And I'm just going to move these controls out the way so I can see everything clearly. So yes, I've published some stuff. Yes, I know some theory, and I've helped some people achieve results, but I want to show you real results just so you know that what I'm sharing with you isn't theory, it's actual what we've implemented, and Leon knows his stuff. This is one of my clients, Angie. I helped her to generate her first 5-figure month by helping her to repackage her offers and understand what she needed to do to attract people into that offer, through social media. This was Alston, same thing with him. I got him to repackage his offer, but also to understand how to position himself during live workshops and to get people registered for his live workshops, which he actually did in person. And within the first 3 months of working together, he generated £250,000 in sales. He was a health consultant. This was Dr. Ashish Paul, fertility coach, and I helped her to generate multi-5 figures in her business. And again, it was about generating leads, and you're going to see an awesome result from Dr. Ashish as we get into this webinar. And this was Nate from Chicago in America, a business coach, and I helped him. When he came to me, he was in about $300,000 worth of debt, and he came to me. He'd already spent $93,000 on one credit card and said, Leon, I've got another $7,000 limit on this. Let's just spend it on ads. And I said, well, if you've already ran ads and you're up to 93,000 in the hole, more ads is not going to help you. So I said to him, let's look at your offers and let's look at a strategic partner. And so that's what we did. We looked at his offers. We found a strategic partner in his network. And within 3 months, he generated $768,000 on a 50-50 split commission with the partner. And within 6 months, he turned that into $1.47 million in sales, came out of the debt with lots of money left over, right? So the things that I help my clients to achieve are because I'm an accelerator. I recognize and see the gaps and the opportunities that they don't see. But what do they all have in common? You're probably asking that question. If you are, well done to you. At the time, they had weak growth strategies. They had slow lead flow, so they weren't generating enough leads, and they had weak marketing and sales systems. So when things were moving, it was kind of like haphazard, ad hoc. It wasn't like a proper flow. But they all wanted to achieve income, impact, and freedom, right? Those were the common things that they wanted to achieve. And here's the thing, your business must give you all three, or you won't be happy in the long term. Without all three, you will eventually self-sabotage and self-sabotage your business, right? So what we need to do is move forward. So I'm going to share with you today three key parts, three components of my Vortex method. It actually has 9 steps, but we're going to look at 3 of those today because we don't have time to go all through 9 of those because of time, right? And I want to make sure we stick to time so you get as much value in the time that we do have. So these are the 3 steps that takes coaching leads from cold to clients in less than 5 days. I've actually done this multiple times in 24 hours where I've been able to publish a marketing message like a post, article, or video. Somebody's reached out to me and within 24 hours, they become a client, literally paid, right? So step 1, we're going to look at your minimum viable product and offer. So in particular, we're going to look at your niche, right? Now, whether you have an established business and you're generating like 10 to 50,000 a month, or if you're on your way and your goal is to get to 10K months, your niche is one of the biggest parts of what you need to go back to on a regular basis to make sure that your message is on point, your offers are on point, and who you're marketing to is crystal clear both to you and your team. You see, the problem many business owners face is targeting the right platform and staying consistent. See, most are either following the advice of influencers or what they've just picked up online, you know, here, there, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, just watching videos, right? And you end up going all in on a platform, but you haven't considered, are my niche even there, right? And I've had this conversation time and time again where people have said, well, I don't like going on to LinkedIn, or I don't like going on to TikTok or Facebook or Instagram just because it's not their preference. And the one thing I always say to them is, your niche don't care for your preference. Your job is to show up where your niche hang out, right? And that's a really important thing. And what tends to happen is most people end up jumping from LinkedIn to Facebook to Instagram to TikTok to YouTube, hoping that something works rather than making sure that they understand and do the research to find out where do their niche hang out, right? And being able to get in front of their niche. So why is this a problem? As prices rise, financial commitments, you know, and your mission is calling you to contribute, a weak niche targeting stifles you. And most coaches end up working many hours with little to show. And what happens is you attract in people who are C and D clients. And I don't know if you remember, like, or as old as me, I'm a little bit old, I'm 44. But in my day and age, when I was at school, I used to get graded by A, B, C, D by teachers. I know the grades are slightly different these days because I've got a 17-year-old and 11-year-old, as well as 4 and a 5-month-old. And the way grades are done these days are slightly different. But I can tell you, you always wanted to get on your work an A or a B, right? And C's and D's were okay, but not the best. But the thing is, when you attract not the best C and D clients, they're the ones who become, I guess, a pain in the ass, right? And what we want is more of the A's and B's. And what tends to happen is when you're attracting that type of client, or we're not attracting enough A and B clients, depression, stress, anxiety, frustration, anger usually follows, and the rat race cycle starts again. So how do we understand our niche? How do we get clear on who the niche is, right? So the key is to target a niche that creates focus in your message to market match on the right media. And I'm going to show you how we go from this niche in step 1 and then move into step 2, where we're looking at what we actually put out as a message on social media. I'm just going to skip to the chat because I know there was a couple of things in there. Okay, so Rose has been sharing. Good. So guys, I'd love for you just to share briefly with me. Can you tell me who your niche is in the chat? Just tell me, give me an idea of who you market your services to. So who you help, right? And most people generally have like, I help. They have an I help statement. So if you could share, and then what I'll do is come back to it in a moment, or perhaps it will change once I start sharing this with you. So in my world, I believe your niche is made up of 3 components. It's who, so who they are, meaning the attributes of their ID, right? Their identity. It's what is the problem that they have, the specific problem that you help them to fix with your coaching, consulting, or whatever service you offer. And then the third part of your niche is you. right? Meaning your beliefs, your values, and your character. Because who you want to attracting are people who are aligned to your beliefs, values, and character. And what people generally happens with business owners is that they don't include themselves, their beliefs, values, and character into their niche. And what happens is they attract some good clients, but not most of all of them being good clients, right? The exact match. And it's because they tend to leave themselves or their beliefs, value, and character out of that, right? And a lot of people don't know how to incorporate that. But what I want to get you to focus on is that you need all three to be super clear on who your niche is, right? And what you'll find is that one of the three is actually the strongest, and the other two are what complement and kind of complete the niche. It's the complete package. So I'm just going just quickly just to check out. So Kat has shared special educational needs coordinators who are overwhelmed and know there is a better way to meet pupil needs, but don't know how. They also want their weekends back. Perfect. Thank you for sharing your niche, Kat. So let's move forward. So when I look at a niche, the way that I look at it is that you should be able to identify your niche so that they know, or you know them like, the back of your hand. And what I find is most people tend to go after, just like a random target or a niche without thinking, do I like these people? Could I work with them? Could they afford me? Right? Can they pay the prices that I want to charge them? Do their values and beliefs align to me? And once you start to wrap all of this together, you start to focus on the exact type of person who you're going to bring into your business that will align. I remember one of my first business coaches back in 2008, and I remember him saying to me, Leon, not all customers are equal. And he says, what you want are the customers who can become your case studies. And at the time, like the penny didn't drop with me, right? But as I started to attract in the right types of clients who got amazing results, listened to what I said, they implemented, they became the case studies. And then I really understood what my coach Kevin was saying to me. We need to attract in case study clients, the kind of people who will put the work in, who will show up, so that we can give them our best advice, guidance, mentoring, consulting, whatever it is that you're offering to help them get to the goals that we have promised to help them to achieve. So what I want you to think of is, does your current niche targeting feel like the ID parade I just shared, where you clearly understand and know who it is that you're targeting? The kind of specificity that would cut through the noise of the current social media market. And not a lot of people do. I'm just checking out what Nick has shared. Creative people wanting to be solopreneurs, business people who are overwhelmed and struggle with long-term planning and follow through. Perfect. The one thing I want you to think about with what you've shared, for those of you who shared in the chat, what your niche is. We've also got Petra. So she's got culture, women, ambition to lead, but not getting a leadership position. I want you to think about, the people that you've stated. I'm just reviewing all of the ones shared so far, and I'm going to give you something specific, special. I want you to think about, for these people, and also especially Nick as well, what level is their business income? If you're targeting business to business, what's their business at? What level is it at? What is it already generating, right? Because even if you work with startups, you can have startups who are already making some kind of money, or they have money to invest. And I want you to think about that. The same with yourself, Petra and Kat. If you're looking at coordinators, are they the kind of people, and I don't know what level these special needs coordinators are at, but what I want you to think about, what is their level of budget, income, or what is their business generating? And is it at the level where they could comfortably be able to afford to invest in you and pay you? And I'm saying that because you can create a niche, as in you're targeting a niche, but what can also happen if you don't do it right, you'll choose to help people rather than help the kind of people that can afford to invest and get the help, right? And there is a big difference. And I say this because when the chips are down and you need to pay the bills, it's not just about, can I help everybody? It's about, can you help yourself, first of all, by attracting the people that you can honor, that you can deliver a high level service to, and help them to achieve the outcomes that you promised them. Whereas if you get the people who can barely afford to pay you, you'll start to resent your business. You'll start to resent your customers as well, because you'll be like, why am I doing this? Why am I working so hard for months, years? and so little to show, right? So for those of you who are past that 10K per month mark, you probably already understand what I'm talking about. But with your niche, we can still get more focused. We can start to instill values, beliefs, your character. And this is what will help form overall the culture of how you run your business, and as well as your marketing message. See, here's the old way that most people pick a niche. They're like, let's choose a category, or, go after business owners, right? You create marketing for that niche. Your message gets lost in the noise of what everybody else is talking about to do with business or life coaching or whatever type of coaching you do, or consulting. You lose momentum, right? You start questioning yourself and you think, should I give up? You try another business model or another niche, right? I was speaking to a lady this week on Tuesday, and she's like, in the past 12 months, I've jumped into 3 different niches. And I'm like, that's interesting. Because every time you change niche, you have to change your message. It has to be updated. You have to update your offers. You have to update, what you put out as marketing. So it becomes harder. And you go back to hitting the ceiling, right? And the final thing is, you just accept, oh, maybe it doesn't work. Maybe I don't work in business, or maybe this business doesn't work. And the reality is it probably does work, but you're just hitting, the ceiling of where you've got to with your niche. The clarity isn't there. So what we need to do, because I feel this is madness, is the more general you go, the bigger the hurdle it is to get clear on your niche, message, and offer. We need to be specific. The new approach and the way that I like to look at niches is date your niche every 90 days. So go back to it, understand who they are, what the problem is, and you in the business, and you in terms of the provider to that, that niche, that market, that audience, right? Because it's about creating connection. That's what you want, because the more clearer you are on your niche, and this is why I say date it every 90 days, because you only get clearer over time. It's not like you're got my niche and that's it. Because what happens is every 90 days, different things will happen. The market changes, market forces, new ways, new products, new things coming into play. And you need to be on, the ball with those things. So this means that you'll save time with being a generalist or a general practitioner. So no more I help anyone or everyone. It's I help these types of people. So let me give you an example. I'm just going to come back to the chat, guys, because I know some of you have shared it. Yeah, too many C&D clients for sure. Outside and also inside barriers, 100%. So I'm just going back to those of you who shared about your niche. So we had special needs coordinators who are overwhelmed and know there is a better way to meet pupil needs, but don't know how. So for instance, you could say special needs coordinators who, let me just admit a couple of more people in the room. So special needs coordinators who are overwhelmed, but are clear on where they're going. They have their sights on increased growth, right? And they know there's a better way to meet pupil needs. I hope that makes sense to you there, Kat. So what we're looking for is, when we talk about our niche, we need to make sure that we're talking about our niche from a desires perspective, not just the problem, right? Because one of the big things that I also believe in is that when we're marketing to desires, we're talking to people who are in a place of more forward thinking. Whereas if we're always marketing into the problem, what can happen is we're marketing into people who are only focused on the problem. And as they say, the more you focus on a problem, the bigger it grows. Whereas if you focus on where their desires are, but you understand the problem, right? You can create empathy. It doesn't mean that you focus on the problem. So that's another way to kind of like shift your perspective on your niche. Nick, I'm going to come to you in a second, Nick. For those of you just jumping into the webinar, guys, we're talking about niche and why it's important to have the clarity on your niche in order to impact where we're going to go in step 2, because we're currently looking at step 1, your niche. In step 2, we're going to look at social media and generating leads. But I'd love for you, for those of you who just joined, can you share what type of cultural consultant you are in the chat, and share with me who you help, right? So I have an understanding of who your niche is, and then I can give you some specific feedback as we're going through this. So with Nick, you say you help creative people wanting to be solopreneurs, business people who are overwhelmed and struggle with long-term planning and follow through. So what you might want to say there, Nick, is creative people who are in specific types of jobs where you understand their income level, right? Or it could be solopreneur business people who are at a certain level, who are, you've got here, overwhelmed and struggle with long-term planning. What you could do is reverse that and say, who are looking for breakthroughs with long-term planning so that they can go to that next level or their next milestone. And again, I'm saying this because again, with your niche, you want to be clear on the problem, but you want to market to where they're going, right? Because if you market to where a person desires, you're more likely to capture their attention. And I'll just say that again, human beings are driven by desire, right? We're challenged by problems, but we're driven by desires. Even when we're in the darkest place of whatever we're going through in life and business, the one thing that we can generally, or that can generally pull us out of that place, is because we have some type of faith or belief in where we want to be instead, right? And so that's why I'm saying this part. So I hope that part's clear to you. If it's not clear, guys, I can reshare that for you. But I want you to understand that the people you are looking for, they need to be in motion. They need to be moving forward. It isn't just your focus on I help people to get past this problem. It's also I help people to get towards whatever the outcome is that you promised them. Does that make sense, everybody? Just give me a yes in the chat, because I don't want to complicate you. I just want to make sure that it's clear, though. And I'm just checking out Petra. She put that she helps culture women, ambition to lead, but they're not getting a leadership position, right? Again, you might want to then look at either cultured women who are in a leadership position, but they want to advance their career into something bigger, something better, right? Because that means these people perhaps already have some some likelihood of being able to pay you. Whereas if you're going for people who are out of employment or not already in a job, maybe they're going to find it difficult to pay you what you need in order to run a commercial, profitable organization. Does that make sense? And I'm just going to check out a couple more that people shared. Aisha shared, I'm in the relationship niche. I help women, some fantastic men too, great, to heal, self-explore, and rebuild their lives after a breakup or divorce. Perfect. What you may want to say is and this is specifically for Aisha, what type of woman? Is it like a professional woman? Is it a woman who works in corporate, in her own business, runs her own small business? You probably just want to think like the type of woman you want attracting, because as we all know, guys, there's many different types of women. There's some women who are in employment, out of employment. There's women who are perhaps younger, 20s, 30s, 40s, older, 50s, 60s, 70s. Like, who's the type of woman, right? And that way you may be able to say, I help women, I don't know, let's say age 30 to 60, who, have a, successful career, but they don't have the relationship to match. And again, there's ways to use language to describe specific, things like income. So I just said like, successful career. The more specific you get, the more likely is the person who that fits will see and think, that's me, she's talking to me. So, that's definitely something to think about. I think of a team or project leaders, Petra. Yeah, good. So hopefully that helped as well. So your niche, let's move on. I'm going to give you some specifics to who. When you're looking at your niche, look at the age. So look at it as a range. I tend to focus on a 10-year range, and I'll tell you why. If I understand the 10-year range, I generally then understand the types of interest that person has probably experienced up until that age, right? Because if somebody is, let's say, 40s or in their 40s to 50s, I know they were born in the 70s to 80s, right? And that gives me an idea of the type of things that perhaps they've come across in their life. You want to look at personal income if it's a business to consumer type of offer that you have. Most of my clients, I say most, about 90% are business to business coaches and consultants. Therefore, you may want to look at what's the business income of that type of person I'm looking to attract in, even if they're a startup, right? You want to get clear, because I've known startups that have had money because they've just got going. They've got that energy where I'm a startup, but I'm already getting sales. I just need help with that next level, right? Where do they hang out, online or offline? So are they on LinkedIn? Are they on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook? Are they in Facebook groups? Are they in LinkedIn groups? Your job is to figure out all these things. What types of books do they read? What types of movies, series, documentaries are they interested in related to the problem that you would help them to solve? Do they do offline networking? Are there offline associations or meetups or events, big events, conventions, right? All of these things are going to help you to understand where you need to be to get in front of these people. What is the problem that you solve? You need to get very clear on the problem. And guys, once I've gone through this slide, you might want to take a print screen. I'm just going to remove the controls so we've got that out the way on the screen. Most people have not diagnosed the problem enough. And this is probably about 6 or 7 questions. When I run through this with my clients, we go deeper into about 15 questions, but I just want to give you a taster for what you need to answer so you're clear on what the problem is that you fix. What is the primary problem my target niche is facing? That's what you need to write down. You need to answer, why is it important for my target audience to solve this problem now, right? Urgency is important, because if somebody doesn't need to solve it now and they can solve it in 12 months from now, just understand it will take you 12 months to get somebody through your pipeline, right? So the more important it is for people to solve a problem now, the more likely it is that you can convert people from leads to clients, right? How is this problem currently impacting my clients' lives or business? Again, this is connected to urgency and the fact that it is impacting them and that they want change. What are the potential long-term effects if this problem remains unsolved? This will be able to help you to communicate in a message, in your offer, to your niche. Do you want to continue to put up with this problem weeks, months, or years from now? And most people don't. And again, this will help people come to the decision of accepting change. What are the emotional, financial, physical, or social pains associated with these problems? If people aren't connected emotionally to what they're seeing in your message and your offers, they will not change. They will not move. Emotion means energy, emotion, and people need motion in order to make decisions. Are potential clients aware of the problem, or do they need education to recognize it? The biggest market or segment of any market, no matter your niche or industry, is the people who don't recognize the problem and they're just accepting it because it's become the norm, right? So that gives you an idea of, when it comes to your marketing message, some of your messaging has to be about educating people to make them aware that there's even a problem, rather than you marketing to the people who are problem aware, which is what most of us naturally do. But the biggest segment is always the people who don't even recognize the problem, right? What is the ideal outcome or transformation my clients seek? Describe the scene, how their life or business will be different, the emotions that they would go through, right? If you can describe the ideal outcome, you're going to paint a picture of what people desire, and people buy outcomes, right? And I'll say this again, they buy outcomes. Don't matter if you're marketing to business or to a consumer, they buy outcomes. And the clearer that your picture is when it comes to your offer compared to what your competitors have a guess who they're more likely to buy from? The person who can paint the picture of what they want, right? So I hope that makes sense. And I hope you guys have got a print screen for that. As I said, with my clients, we go into an additional, like, probably 8 to 12 other questions, right? And the more specific you can be, the easier it is to create your marketing message and offers. So the final piece of your niche is you. You got to identify what your values are, your beliefs, your character, your interests, your hobbies, your family, your personal life. These are the things that just naturally, like, connect people to you. Like, I'm a family person. I've got 4 children. I have a wife. I'm married. My eldest child is my son. He's 17, bought his first car recently, and he's taking his driving test this month in 21 days. I've got a daughter who's going to be 11 in 6 days. I've got another daughter who's 4. She literally just came home today and said, "Daddy, look at me. Something's changed." She had her ears pierced. I'm like, "Oh, that's a nice surprise." And then I've got a 5-month daughter, right? 44. I do jujitsu, so I love doing martial arts. I go to the gym. I like to take care of my health. Recently, I did a 3-day water fast. The first time in my whole life, I've gone 3 days without any food and just water and green tea. So there are different interests about me, and I'm sharing these things with you because then you start to understand who I am, right? And I'm sharing because it's important, because here's what's happening. You either like some of the things I'm sharing about myself, or you think Leon's not the kind of person I would like to listen to any more of the stuff he's talking about. But what I'm sharing with you is these things are of interest to your audience and to the people who will become your clients. I've got beliefs of, I believe in business and life, we should have ownership, accountability, and responsibility, right? And that mindset is 90% of the success of what you do. And it's about 10% of what you implement in business and life, right? And so I'm sharing these types of things so that you understand these are important, and these are the factors sometimes that we leave out because we want to be professional, but actually what people want is connection, right? People don't pay for your time, they don't pay for your expertise, they pay for the value of the result you deliver. That's why I said they pay for the outcome. right? The promise. So the one thing I want to share with you, no matter what type of coach or consultant you share that you are today, and I'm going to use an example of a life coach or life coaching, if you operate in any of the three big categories, wealth, health, relationships, then the outcome you provide is priceless, right? You're helping people to change their lives either personally or in their business. And it's that simple. And if you're ever challenged with your prices and so on, just understand that you haven't really got to the point where you understand the problem and the impact that that problem is going to have. But I've given you those questions so that you're on the right path, because understanding the size of the problem that you fix will help you to understand where your pricing is probably falling short, or more not so common, where your prices are probably too high, right? And I'm saying that because there are cases where it can be. Although I've got clients who've sold anything from £2,000 right the way through to 100,000 plus, right? So there is a market for every price that you can think of. See, when you raise your prices and you understand your niche, some very cool things happen. You get clients who show up coachable, committed. You hit your income goals faster, and you need less clients to achieve your income goals so you can offer your clients a higher level VIP experience. If we work together, these are the kind of offers that you'd create because you clearly understand your niche, right? I sell people into my programs. I have two main programs, and we're opening up a brand new business owner community at the end of May, actually, a brand new community. Because what I want to do is create a space for people to really connect. And because I understand who my niche is, I can create offers on things like Google Documents that sell literally tens of thousands of pounds in terms of offers, and people buy them, right? I've also got the professional stuff, funnels and so on, where I sell my offers in funnels. But I can tell you, out of the two, my sales letters in Google Documents and PDFs actually sell the most. Why? Because I just send it. It allows me to put offers out, adjust my message in real time, in speed. I don't have to speak to my funnel designer or anything. I literally can put these things together, share with my team, and we distribute, right? And these are clients who've used the same methods of getting clear on their niche and then launching offers because they've got the clarity on who they're marketing to, so they can create the kind of offers that you're looking to do as well. 7K cash collected, 13K sales, sold my first 10K offer, got paid in full £9,000 for my new offer, right? So that's from Sarah, Marjorie, and Denise. This is Raf. He was a marketing consultant. Within 3 months, he sold $150,000 in sales. It was actually £116,000 in sales. And all we did again was get clear on his offers, because we started to focus on, well, who was he selling to, his niche, yeah. And today's business is thriving. Niche specificity is one of the fastest ways to hit your income goals while working with the most committed, perfect fit clients. The challenge that I see with most people is that they have good services and they've got good potential offers. They're just not specific enough. And I hope that makes sense. Does anybody have any questions around your niche? If you do, please just let me know in the chat. If you haven't shared your niche, I think most people have, but if you haven't shared it, just share it in the chat and I'll be able to come back to it and help you get clear on that. Right, so we're moving into step 2. Step 2 is about 6-week content rhythm, generating leads. The problem with not generating enough leads is big. It's literally the main challenge of many business owners who are under the 50K a month mark. It makes growth difficult because everything starts with lead generation. Yeah, with team costs, bills, other financial commitments, it can really hurt your income. So in order to be able to enroll, clients that are investing 5 or 20K with you, as I said, I've got clients who charge more as well. Your lead generation has got to be consistent, but that doesn't mean it has to be complicated. The simpler your marketing, the better. Many experts tell you, so many mixed messages, and I can just tell you, I've proved all of them to be not true. What you've got to do is get clear on your message by having a clear niche and being consistent, because execution in your marketing strategy is your strategy. You can't just strategize and plan and then not implement, because that's not going to give you what you need, which is results. The results are what give you direct feedback to go back to the strategy and adjust. And that's how you grow your business. In many markets, there are always 3 to 10% of people who are buying now. However, as I said, the biggest segment are the people who don't even know that they have a problem, right? So these people, when they come across your message, if you're marketing out to people who are basically not problem aware and the people who are problem aware, you'll have like an 18-month pipeline from when a person first comes across your stuff to actually being clients. But there are always 3 to 10% of people who are buying now, right? So what we need to do is recognize, well, what are the ways that we can generate leads? There are 5 ways to generate leads. I'm going to share with you the blue segment, which is called free content today, because we don't have time to go in all 5, but this is what I teach my clients. Free content is where you publish stuff on social media. You've got warm market, people who know you. That means you might slide into their DMs, pick up the phone, have a quick chat, right? That's people who know you or potential people that know a little bit of you and you can contact them. You've also got paid ads where if you have a budget, you can run paid ads and you can reach more people. You can do cold outreach. Cold outreach tends to be the least popular one, right? Because you're sending unsolicited phone calls, emails, text messages, that kind of stuff. Most people don't like it. However, a lot of big businesses grow big because they use cold outreach, right? So it may not be for you right now, but it's actually one of the ways to generate leads. And then finally, one that I really do love is partners, joint venture partners, referrers, team members referring. Like I've had some of my biggest sales months, like literally 6 figures because of partners, people referring into me on a consistent basis. But I'm going to focus, as I said, on free content with you today. The bottom line is clients need your help now. So we need to market to them something transformational, right? So the old way is go on all social media, trade shows, chamber shows, word of mouth, networking, paid podcast appearance, paid TV appearances, paid ads, blogs, SEO backlinks, cold email, right? So, trying so many different things. And the thing is, you hope it gets you quality leads. And the reality is it's just hope and pray marketing. It's not going to work. Is anybody right now doing any of these things and it's not quite working, whether it is on social media, word of mouth, trade shows, networking? Are you doing any of these things and it's not quite working? Just give me a yes. I don't need anything specific. I'm just curious if you're doing any of these things, but they're not working. If that's the case, here's the way that I do it. And it's a method I teach my clients. It's called the 6-week content rhythm, right? I used to be a music producer for 11 years. That's why you'll notice a lot of things to me and with me are to do with rhythm. And the 6-week content rhythm is something that's going to save you about 80% of the time wasting marketing that you're doing. You need one content strategy that's going to capture attention, establish authority, and attract perfect fit clients. So this is it. This will allow you to complete a whole year's worth of content by running this 8 times a year. Yeah, the reason it works is because you perfect what works and you remove what doesn't. It's about mastery. If you want to take your business to the next level, it's because you're willing to create mastery in both your understanding of who you help, what problem you fix, and the way that you put that message out to them to attract people in. The 6-week content rhythm is very simple to follow, but it's more about your ability to actually commit to it and publish. So let me share with you the first step. The first step is the 6-week content rhythm overview. You need a sheet of paper. You have column 1, which is weeks 1 to 6. You have column 2, where you list your top 6 frustrations or fears that your niche have with the problem you fix, right? If anybody has any questions as I'm going through this or you're not clear on anything, please just ask me in the chat. Now that you know the top 6 frustrations or fears for your niche with the problem that you fix, you need the opposite things to those. You need a column called desires. What are the desires, the opposite desires for each frustration or fear? So in week 1, you can see, for example, a frustration or fear might be a coach or consultant is frustrated with not enough leads. Their desire is to have more qualified leads. Then the 4th column that you need is something called the limiting belief. What is the limiting belief that is holding back your niche, where they are with their frustration or fear, from getting to what they desire, right? So you need to identify what you believe that limiting belief to be. So in this example, it is they don't know what to do on social media. That's why they're not achieving more qualified leads. And then finally, can you offer some type of free resource like a lead magnet, a guide, a video, a cheat sheet, a template, something that would add value to your audience that would help them to get to the next step of solving that problem? So with some of you, I mentioned today that I published this book in 2018, More Leads, More Clients. And if you want a free PDF copy, just comment in the chat PDF, and Rose, who's on here with us, will send you a link so you can get a free PDF copy, or you can go to Amazon and get the physical copy, the same ones that I've got on my desk right here. So I give this away as a PDF copy, as a lead magnet, because I know it provides massive value, right? And it's something I wrote, took me, 3 months to write the whole thing, but it gives extra value. So what could you provide to your niche each week so you can be specific to solving the weekly frustration and helping them to see how to get towards their desire? Now, what you've done is plan 6 weeks worth of content, right? At least the topics. I'm going to show you the specifics with the content. Does this make sense, everybody? Okay, so a few people asking PDF. Is this clear? I just want you to give me a yes. Is this clear? Just type yes in the chat if this is clear in terms of the overview of what you can do to plan the next 6 weeks worth of content. Just give me a, all right, perfect. Good. I know you're following now. Good. If it's not clear, just ask, guys. So now that we know what we need to focus on as topics throughout the next 6 weeks, we need to know what we're going to publish each week, right? So here's the weekly content breakdown. On a Monday, you're going to create and publish a post that is 150 to 1,000 words, or you're going to create a 5 to 15-minute video that helps your niche to change their beliefs by sharing a story of either you or a client talking about where they were when they had the problem and the steps they took to get to the desired outcome, so that you can connect the weekly frustration or fear and the weekly desire, right? So that's what you're going to do. If you need specific examples, guys, I do have a free worksheet that we give away called the 6-week content rhythm worksheet, something like that. If you want the 6-week worksheet free, just type into the chat 6 weeks and Rose will put the link in there as well for you. Tuesday, create and publish a post that gets your audience to raise their hand for the thing that you're offering that week. Remember, we just focused on what lead magnet to give away each week. So you create and publish a post offering that thing. On a Wednesday, you're going to share a case study. You're going to talk about a client with the problem they had, the steps you took, the results they got, and share the testimonial of what they experienced with your service, right? This will show social proof. On a Thursday, you're going to create and publish a walkthrough video of the steps that you help your clients to go through with solving that problem to get to the desire, the weekly desire, right? So like the 3 steps, the 5 steps to overcome, slow lead flow, right? That type of example. And then on a Friday, I'm just going to move these controls out of the way. You're going to publish a reminder post to say, hey, yesterday I uploaded a video on this topic. Click this link to go and watch it. And that's it. Very simple. So that's what we publish every week. So from that, we can be super consistent and it's clear on what we need to publish. So I just want to give you a quick template, for the Tuesday post that I said, you can share about giving away your free lead magnet. Here's 2 examples. If you have a free video or free guide, use these, guys. If you have a video, you can say, I just shot a video with the exact steps my clients used to, for instance, let me go back to the chat. I'm just going to go back to the chat, guys, and just go back. I'm going to use Aisha as the example. So relationships to heal and self-explore, rebuild their lives after divorce. All right. I just shot a video with the exact steps my clients used to create a life after divorce in 30 days, right? Want the link. So that would be an example of me offering a video to people who wanted to, create a better life after divorce. Or equally, I'll choose somebody else to do this example. Nick, I'm going to go back up to where you shared about your niche. And here we are. So Nick helps creative people wanting to be solopreneurs who are overwhelmed and struggle with long-term planning and follow through. So Nick, if you were offering a guide to these people, you can say, I just uploaded a PDF with the 10 steps on how to follow through on your business goals and planning in 1 hour a day or 1 hour a week. Would you like a copy? That would be an example of how you can offer out your lead magnets, guys. So it's by stating a clear desire in a time frame. If you add time frames, guys, it makes it more real to human beings. So those are simple ones. And here's another thing that you can do. Once you've got the text version, record a video version of it on your smartphone. Why? Because some people like to read text. Some people want to watch a video. That's simple. And you can publish it on your favorite social media platforms. So using these templates, you'll generate leads. Here's an example of leads. I've generated 205, 80, 105, 220. Here's my clients using the same method, the templates I've just given you. Ashish, 617 leads there. Janine, 879 leads in 3 days. Ashish got to 700 leads in 3 days. Here's more clients. More leads, 24 hours, booked calls, more leads, more leads, more leads. There's no magic, guys. I'm giving you the answers right here. And when you know what works organically, you can run these types of messages in your paid ads. So it's not like you do social media organic and then you don't know what to put into your paid ads. You use what's worked because humans will behave the same way. It's just now your ads will give you far greater reach. So you can see I run the same type of content because now I know what messaging works. I produce videos, put these out into ads on Facebook, Instagram, wherever. I know the type of messaging, right? And from this, I can retarget people who've watched those videos, put my offers in front of them. And you can see here, look, one video, 156,000 views where I'm paying, what is that? 2p a view. For a 15-second view, I pay 2p. For somebody to watch me for 15 seconds. 692 leads where I was paying £2.75 a lead. 426 leads where I was paying £4.56. The power of this is that we use and cycle everything in. So when you figure out what's working on social media, because you're moving at such a pace and every week it's your 6-week content rhythm, we know what we're publishing and we've got consistency, then we can say, generating leads. Now let's put some real momentum behind this and put it into paid ads. And it really takes things to that next level where your lead flow, it cannot be slow, right? Because you're starting to really get that momentum. How do I solve the issue of the wrong people see my posts? I've been trying to connect with possible leads by growing my network, but I'm getting people outside of my niche engaging more. If you're getting the wrong people engaging, it's because your message is not clear. That's why we focused on niche at the beginning, Kat. You're not speaking into who when you create content, guys, some of the most successful content is where you can describe a scenario. So if you look at Aisha's example, I said to her, women, but what type of woman, right? A woman aged 30 to 50, perhaps, after divorce. What type of divorce? Was it a divorce after a 10-year plus marriage or a 5-year plus marriage or a 20-year marriage? I don't know, right? But the more we can speak into scenarios of, for instance, well, what's life like at home? Right. So now we can talk about UCAT. Well, what's life like in the office for these type of educational people that you're targeting, right? Describe more scenarios, because that way the person who's reading or watching or listening to your content, they should be able to say, whoa, that's me. And if a person can't read your stuff and feel like they've stepped into a movie of their own life, then your message is missing the mark. Does that make sense? If your message doesn't pull in your values of, for example, the kind of person that I work with doesn't walk away from the challenges they face. They don't create their excuses. They're aware that perhaps their confidence has been knocked, but they're willing to take ownership, accountability, and responsibility. If I wrote in that way and described in my videos in that way, I'm attracting people who align to my values and beliefs. Does that make sense? So the way that you share stuff is what qualifies people as well, because a person will connect to the message and what they're actually doing is saying, that's exactly what I'm looking for. And the way that you write will disqualify people that it doesn't align with, right? And that's what we want most of all. I hope that makes sense, Kat. Just let me know if it did. Step 3, this is the final step of the 3 things I wanted to share with you. Confirm by chat. Now, once we're generating leads, guys, the obvious thing is, well, how do we turn those leads into clients? It's very simple. There's a problem. Most coaches and consultants end up speaking to unqualified prospects. We need to qualify, because we're going to end up on 30, 60 or 90-minute calls with people who don't align with our values, just like I was speaking about. But if you're marketing right, you're going to attract more people who align with your values, your culture, your beliefs, and your message, right? And when someone enters into your world on social media in this day and age, it's your DMs in your inbox, right? On Messenger or LinkedIn or Instagram. And what we need is a quick and easy way that if we're busy, even our VAs can manage our inbox, right? And why is this a problem? Well, if we don't have this freedom and this system and this approach to qualifying people, it affects how your business grows. It's that simple. Your freedom's taken away and you have to keep up with conversations and firefighting and, I haven't checked my inbox in 2 days and I've missed, leads, prospect conversations, people have gone cold and start ghosting you, right? And the cost and the time starts to add up, right? Meaning that you're not leveraged. So we also know time equals money. So the old way of qualifying people is, let's do a virtual coffee. Let's jump on a discovery call. Are you free now? Free coaching session, proving your worth, trying to prove your skills if you are a coach or consultant, or you just cold pitching DMs, which is the worst thing to ever do. and maybe you'll get clients. I can tell you this is hope and pray qualifying. This is not the way. I teach this way called confirm by chat. You speak to people that you have permission to speak to, meaning they've requested something from you, or you are building a relationship, not where you're just pitching. That's the worst thing. Never pitch to people, right? What you want to do is just check in on them, build the relationship. And when they say, yes, I am interested in this thing, then you move them to a qualifying conversation. And the way that you do that using my confirm by chat method is by creating conversations that include questions that will produce you call bookings and sales, right? There are 3 steps. You need to connect with the person, you need to qualify, you need to confirm. Let me show you the breakdown, right? So the first step when you connect with somebody is that you appear, there's an opening question, and then there's a this or that question. So when you first appear, you're probably going to say, hey, thanks for commenting or liking my post, right? Whatever your post was about. Hopefully it was your Tuesday post where you're offering that free lead magnet, your PDF or your guide, right? The next question is going to be an opening question. You need to ask them an opening question that is relevant to you knowing that you're speaking to the right type of person. So I'm using a life coaching example in this. So hopefully you will be able to adjust the way that you could use this script in your own mind. How long have you been unhappy with your life? So if I was a life coach, I might ask the person, how long have you been unhappy in your life? Or how long have you been unhappy in your relationship? How long have you been unhappy in your job, in your career, in your whatever, right? If I was a business coach, I might say, how long have you been running your business, right? You need to ask an opening question that will at least give you the idea and the clues that you're speaking to the right type of person. The next question is your this or that. The this or that means you give 2 answers, 2 predefined answers. So they only have to choose one, which makes the conversation easy, right? So you might say as a life coach, do you experience imposter syndrome or low confidence? If you're a business owner, you might say, do you work on your own or do you have a team? Right? It's a this or a that answer. So that way they already know what to answer. It's not like they have to think of a long answer when speaking to you. So that means speaking to you is super easy. And having easy conversations is half the challenge in social media. So the step 2 is qualify. We need to know what the gap is between where they are, where they want to be. We need to know what they need, and we need to know if they're willing to accept help. So the gap is, where are you now? Where do you want to be? It's that simple. So if we're a life coach, we can say, where are you now in terms of happiness? Where would you like to be? The next question is your need. We need to know what they need. So if they say, sorry, if we say, what are the 2 or 3 things you need to work on, right? With regards to happiness or in your business or whatever it is. And here's what we're doing now. Now we know from the opening question, from the this or that, where they are, as in what their current situation is, where they want to be, their goals, the main 2 or 3 problems they're facing. We will now be able to understand whether or not that person aligns to what we have on offer. Does that make sense, everybody? I just want to make sure and check in with everyone. Give me a yes. So when you're speaking to people in your DMs after they've raised their hands for your content, does that make sense that now we should have a clear picture, even at this stage, of who we are speaking to? Very good. Nick, Kat, perfect. So then we need to find out, are they open to getting help now? Which means that they want help now or later. So you simply ask, are you open to new ways of becoming happier, or new ways of running and planning your business, or new ways of getting beyond divorce into a happier place in relationships, or new ways of, what was yours, Kat, for these people in special educational needs? So new ways of, managing students or creating better outcomes for your students, that type of thing. And when a person says yes, you now know you've got somebody who's interested in now, acting on getting a solution now. The third step is confirm. So we're going to make a suggestion with our offer. We're going to invite them, and then we're going to get them to confirm. So here's what I'm thinking. I have a program called Visionary that helps my clients who are generating 10 to 20k per month minimum to double their revenue in the next 6 months. Would you like me to share details with you? Right? And when the person says yes, I'll say, here you go. And then I share my offer. What's cool about this process, and I'm going to share this part with you, is I don't have to send a proposal. I don't have to send a proposal for them to think about. I've said to them, is it okay for me to share the details? And now I'm sharing my offer. And now I'm going to share why this is so powerful. My next question is, what are your thoughts? Are you in or you're out? when I ask this question, if they say they're in, they're pursuing me. I'm not chasing them to say, what's your thoughts on the proposal I've sent to you? We now change the process of what most businesses fall into the trap of, competing by sending out a proposal, right? When a person says they're in, you've now got somebody who's ready to book a call or buy from you. If we work together, these are kind of hot prospect conversations who'd be ready to jump on a call with you that you'd experience. So these are all people who became clients, right? All in DMs, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Hi, Leon, can you let me know what I need to do to sign up to the program? This is before I've even spoke to them on a call, right? So that's because I understand how to create the right type of offers for the right niche. I'm having easy conversations where people are like, you got me intrigued, right? That works for me, giving me a time when they want to jump on the call. Here's another one, done, Gail on LinkedIn, Yelena, LinkedIn, all right? It's that simple, guys. But by having these systems, we understand what we're taking people through as a process. So here's the hidden benefit of having a confirmed by chat script as well, right? Your business is meant to set you free. It's not meant to enslave you, right? It becomes the self-employed trap if it doesn't set you free. I'm not saying there isn't hard work, guys, but it shouldn't be hard work forever and a day and get harder, right? It's got to give you something back because, you're here to live your life with your family, do different things, and that's what it should be about. Otherwise, time simply seems to disappear. Here's some stats that, show most small businesses end up working 50 or 60 hours plus a week. And I don't think that's the way that it needs to be. In my world, I'm working on average like 30 hours a week, sometimes less, right? Because it shouldn't be something that takes all of your time away. With Confirm by Chat, you can delegate it to your team, your VA. They can run, your social media profiles for you, and you're effectively buying back your time. No business that grows is just you on your own. And most of the people that I work with have a VA. They have, a web design person or a developer or a funnel person. They have a small team, but that small team can be scalable, right? And the cool thing for me is that this gives you all the three things I mentioned at the beginning of this webinar. All the clients that I've helped succeed are all looking for income, freedom, and impact. And these steps are what help you get there. You see, this is the roadmap to $1 million. When you're under 10K a month, focus on attraction and conversion, how to attract people and converting them. Don't worry about how good your service is, your offer is, the qualifications you have. Focus on attraction and conversion because being able to deliver and grow will come later. For those of you who are at the 10 to 30K a month per mark, focus more on generating organic and paid leads. Your conversion, you want to invest time in qualifying, meaning confirmed by chat conversations on social media and sales calls, right? You don't have to have sales calls. If your offer is really powerful and you've got enough leads coming through, you'll have enough numbers coming through for you to convert off the right offer. With delivery, launch your service and transition from one to many. For growth, free up 1 day a week, have a CRM, payment systems, and team hires, meaning VAs, right? At the 40 to 60K per month level, you need to focus on launches with ads, JV relationships, so other partners referring their audience to you and content. Conversion, have webinars, challenges, or events like workshops where you've got people booking appointments with you or your team. To deliver, expand to monthly recurring revenue. So run workshops and events, and then growth, delegate sales, chats, hire coaches to support your delivery, and adopt a profit first strategy with your income. At the 70 to 100K level, you need to add new channels in, sharpen your KPIs, key performance indicators. For conversion, optimize your funnels and drive sales targets with campaigns. For deliver, you need to optimize how people ascend into your higher level programs, onboarding, and your revenue model. And finally, for growth, you need to upgrade your leadership in your team, your systems, and your profit on wealth, right? So what do the numbers look like? Because I made a promise at the beginning to attract 2 to 5 clients. If you do this right, guys, and you implement it and you get the right support to do this, for example, if your content's generating 2,000 views on whatever channels you're marketing on, you should be attracting about 50 leads. So getting a 2.5% conversion. You should be able to get 10 prospects from that, meaning you're confirmed by chat conversations in DMs, right? Which again is a 20% conversion. From there, most people on average who are converting at 20%, most good business owners I speak to are converting at 40%. That's where you'll get your 2 to 5 new clients. From that, you'll be able to generate somewhere in the region of 10 to 50K in sales for a 5 to 25K offer. where approximately you'll be picking up 3 to 15k per month cash flow collected, right? So those are the numbers which will move you to that next level. If this is obviously what you're looking for, 2 to 5 extra clients per month. And for me, this is the simple overview, just so you can see how it all connects. You need traffic, social media or paid ads, content, so using your 6-week content rhythm, so never run out of content ideas. Lead magnet, so offer something of value that week. Every week have something of value. It can even be a strategy call, like a free strategy call. Qualify them and confirm by chat, present your offer, and that's where you're going to end up with clients. I've got a bonus step for you very quickly. Invest in coaching, guys, and it's very simple. You may struggle with doing the work, marketing, sales, business growth, accountability, and this is why you need support or tools to help make it happen. You need support from someone who cares enough to really help you. You need to know that they're for real, whether that's me or somebody else. I'm just saying to you, the fastest way that I've grown in my businesses is because I've got coaches and mentors, because, you know, it will probably fail or you'll compromise something about your growth. As simple as the methods that I've shared with you today are, there's a million ways to mess things up or even just talk yourself out of them. I've seen so many people say, you know, I'm lonely, I'm on my own, I've got a family, and like I don't get that extra input or support and I need that. Like I get it, you know, but the key thing is to make sure that you act on it. Don't try and figure out everything on your own, because what you're doing is giving up your time to try and figure it out rather than invest in a mentor or coach. That's the fastest way. And remember, time is your most precious resource. Me and my team have helped clients succeed in like literally every niche, right? Because marketing principles are about human psychology. They're not like marketing that only works on this platform in this particular way. Marketing is about persuading humans about your offer. That's it, right? It's principles. These are the kind of people that are in my community and clients I've helped. You can see here from Haroon, I've always hoped to find a business coach or mentor who I have a lot of respect for. You're the only one who's made the mark. That's my biggest thing. I believe in those things. I believe in community. So don't waste your time trying to figure this stuff out on your own, guys. Take the fastest proven approach to success. Today, we've covered niche, we've covered hot qualified leads, we've covered confidence selling, we've covered how to model success by getting a coach or a mentor. I've got an opportunity for you. As I said, guys, we have the Leads Accelerator call. You won't be sold anything on this call. It's free to you. In the next 24 to 72 hours, you have the opportunity to jump on this call where I can help you to apply the ideas that I've shared with you starting today. On the call, we're going to do 4 things. I'm going to help you get clear on who are your dream clients, the ones who will pay you 5 to 25k, where you can find them, the exact price you should be charging, or even just to give you confirmation that your prices are in the right ballpark, and the system you should follow to make this happen as a predictable process. On the call, you'll get the clear plan of action. You won't be sold anything whatsoever. And this is for those of you who solve a real life or business problem for your niche, right? You really care about creating transformation, because integrity is really big for me and who I align with in terms of my clients. You must have grit and tenacity. All of the clients you've seen today that I've worked with, they've invested in their business and persisted through every obstacle with our help. And this is not for anybody who's a startup with no finances. I want people to come who are ready, not because I'm going to sell you anything, but if you do want to act on the plan that I give you, right, I want you to be in a position where you're ready to implement that and invest in yourself. So any coaches or consultants who don't have any active paying clients, you've probably got an offer that's not proven, and I can't really help you there. So you're going to get all of these things, these 4 steps on the call. Plus, remember, I'm going to give you these 3 bonus trainings for those of you who turn up. Just go to leonstreet.com/apply. Right. And I want to welcome you to it. I've got a couple of stories I want to share with you, and we're going to wrap up. As I said to you, I won't keep you more than 75 minutes. That means I've got 5 minutes to go. Right. So this was Kathy, who turned up to the Leads Accelerator call. She was on from LinkedIn. Right. A week later, off the advice that I gave her on the call, she sold $15,000 worth of coaching programs and workshops. Right. She turned up to the call. I'm an accelerator, guys. I recognize that as my genius. I can see the problems in your business that you don't see, and I see the ways to fix them in the fastest possible way without complicating things. Go to leonstreet.com/apply, choose a date, choose a time. And the more you fill in on this page, the better it is. Because if you don't fill in anything on the questions that I'm asking you, I'll probably cancel your call. So I want you to fill in as much as you can so I understand about your business and I'm prepared. So when we jump on that call, we maximize our time together. It's about 20 to 30 minutes, right? Why is it free? We know some people love the plan so much that they ask for our help to implement the strategies that we produce. That's it. If that's you, I'm happy. If you don't want our help, don't worry. I'm not going to get angry or anything. I'll be like, cool, take the plan and I wish you all the best. You remember Kathy, I just showed you, she didn't become a client, but she generated $15,000, right, in a week. So not everybody becomes a client, and I'm okay with that because not everybody aligns to what I'm looking for, right? So the only way you can get the plan is if you choose a time on the page, jump on the session together, and the plan's yours as well as the bonus trainings. Click the link in the chat now to secure your spot. The spaces are very limited. And I'm not saying that I'm like as a fake scarcity thing. Like literally, we only open up so many slots in our calendar. As I said to you, I work on average about 20 to 30 hours a week, so I don't like to work any more than that. Here's a few recommendations from coaches who also joined us on the call. This is Sanmi. He says, I'm sure I need your help for a lifetime to continue to coach me. So it was really good for him. Jenny, I've achieved more this week from a chat with Leon than I have in the past 6 months. This was Melanie. Our call was 20 minutes, super fast. We're super organized, right? I've got more from Leon in 20 minutes than I've got from umpteen coaches and advisors I've consulted over the years. He cut straight to my problem and taught me through it clearly, succinctly. If you have a marketing challenge, Leon is your man. But here's something I want to share with you about Melanie. She came back to me about, I think it was like a week later. She said, Leon, do you remember our call? You explained your 6-week content strategy, the one that I've shared with you guys today, right? But we went a bit deeper on the call. So today I closed the deal with a past client who called me because of one of your posts for the equivalent of £2,700 per month, which is £32,400 for the year. Good start or what, right? So the only way you can make that happen, guys, is if you're booking for the call. So you're going to get that kind of value. So it's not like we're just doing a call and it's fake value. You're going to get tons of value. So go to leonstreet.com/apply and choose a date and a time. I've helped many coaches and consultants just like you. Go to the link. It's in the chat, leonstreet.com/apply. Remember, you get the 3 trainings free with it as well for those of you who turn up, right? So you've got to turn up to the call. And here's why. You do have alternatives. Figure it out alone, right? So it takes you longer. Remember, I've done this hundreds of times, so I'm going to help you do this real quick. Most people are shocked how quickly I get to the root of their problem and what they've got to do. You're going to continue to focus on tactics and end up attracting the wrong people, or you're going to hire a marketing agency and then never treat your business like your own, and you don't grow in the process, which is what's needed for you to go to that next level as a business owner. You can't just delegate to an agency and expect to grow and know from a strategic point of view what's going to happen. And if you don't show up and you're not feeling confident or not consistent, fear, inconsistency moves you out of alignment with your vision, right? And these types of activities can end up costing you anything starting from 100,000 a year, just because of the time wasted as well as the money that you invest that doesn't work out, right? There's the opportunity for you to change where you are in your business right now and get the kind of outcomes that you've seen from the people who've just literally just turned up to the call. Never mind our clients who've achieved multi-6 and 7-figure results. Guys, I am at the end. That is it. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer your questions. Am I on time? Yes, 1 minute to go. Honestly, guys, make that opportunity your next best opportunity for either tomorrow or going into next week. If you're disappointed at the end of the call, I will pay you £100 out of my own pocket. That's how confident I am when you join me on that call, because I've done it so many times that I know it like the back of my hand exactly what you guys have got to do. So I really recommend that you turn up. I just want to say thank you very much for being here with me today, guys. I really appreciate your time. And I hope you've been able to take away at least one nugget, something that you can implement today. Yeah. And on that note, guys, I just want to say thank you very much, Nick, Kat, Aisha. Who else did we have? I need to go back to my settings over here. Petra. Yeah. And Suyen Harris as well. Thank you very much for being here, guys. Hopefully I'll catch you on my next live stream. Other than that, once again, thank you. Goodbye.